Berkshire. Wanted to give you a couple tips really. I'm just going to flip the camera around. Wanted to give you a couple tips about how you can avoid making some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're trying to start up their Amazon businesses. Now, I've seen this happen quite a few times. People who I teach generally avoid these mistakes because, well, that's what I tell them to do. However, you know, sometimes it still happens. People who don't necessarily know what they're doing sometimes end up doing these things, and it can actually just put a stop to your business altogether and end up sinking all your capital into things, areas where you shouldn't be spending it. And if it's the first kind of action you take in your business and it fails, then it's going to set you up to kind of hate the business model and kind of believe, or be led to believe, that it doesn't actually work. So let's kind of go through what they are, okay? So the first thing that I see people doing, occasionally it can happen, is someone gets really, really excited about a load of stock that they want to buy. They see one product that looks incredible, and then they spend all their capital on it. And they just think, wow, this is going to sell really, really fast, you know, it's going to make me loads of profit. So they think, well, I'm going to spend every penny that I have on this stock. Now, there's a reason why this is a bad idea, because if you're buying stuff where you're going to be competing with other people, there are so many contributing factors to whether you're going to be able to actually sell that stuff quickly, get the buy box and all those kind of things, and whether you're actually going to be able to make your money back and profit with it. So for that reason, if you're buying stuff that isn't your own product, if it's not a private label, you don't want to be sinking every single penny of your capital into only one product and going too deep with your inventory. What I recommend you do instead is go as wide as possible. So that means don't just buy one product and buy 100 units, buy 10 products, 10 of each. Spread your eggs out, don't put them all in one basket. Then you'll have less of a chance for everything to go completely wrong. So that's one of the mistakes I definitely want you to try and avoid. If you're going to start trying to sell on Amazon, if you're already doing a little bit of Amazon selling, that's one thing you can definitely try out. Check out my notes here. I've got some notes for you guys. Another thing is people don't analyze stock properly. Now, there's a formula you can actually put together to figure out how many times your item's going to sell in a day. And you can go really, really deep into the stuff that Amazon gives you about any given listing and figure out roughly how many sales you're going to be making soon. But the main thing you want to take into account is a sales rank. And basically, you want to try and keep it under 30,000 if you can in the beginning, whilst you're sort of getting used to all this stuff and you haven't really done too much, haven't gone too in depth of all the resources they give you. Just try and keep the sales rank under 30,000, then you know it's going to sell relatively soon. Okay, but there's one other thing that you probably want to be doing as well to make sure that the stuff that you see on the Amazon listing is actually accurate. Now, sometimes products that you see, products that you want to sell, look like they're going to give you a huge profit margin because they're really expensive on Amazon and they're really cheap across the web everywhere else. Now, one thing that this might mean is that the price is actually momentarily inflated. So in order to check it out and make sure that the price that you're seeing on Amazon now is a consistent price that stays that level for a long period of time, is go on Keepa, Keepa.com, Keepa.com, change it to whichever country you're selling from, and from there you can actually see sales rank history and price history to make sure that your price that you're seeing right now on your Amazon account isn't unusually inflated. So definitely avoid that mistake, guys. Don't underanalyze your product, spend a load of money on stock, think that it's going to sell really well, and then have it end up actually not moving anywhere. And the third and final mistake, guys, I really want you to avoid as well is something a little bit more subtle. It's not necessarily going to have you make any huge errors. It's basically just going to ensure that your business never gets off the ground. So I really want you to avoid making this mistake. And basically what it involves is being inconsistent. Okay, I see a lot of people who I mentor, students who join my courses and things. One of the first things they'll say to me is like, "Ollie, I can't really find any products. Like, this stuff seems really, really difficult." there's nothing really out there, you know, and they start feeling a bit scared, worried, is this stuff going to work for me, kind of feelings. And I say, okay, well, how long have you been looking for? And they'll say, well, I did 45 minutes the other day at the shop, looking for stuff to sell. Now, guys, you've got to put in time to make this stuff actually really work for you. There's really no other way to actually make this stuff work, because you're making micro profits, what I call them. Like every single sale you make, you can be making, say, maybe £2, £3, £5, £10, £20. So you need loads of these coming in, day in, day out, hourly, if possible, to actually be able to get a decent income. So what that means is you have to keep sending stock into your account. You have to keep listing items on your Amazon account. Otherwise, you're never going to be making any profit. Or definitely going to be making a consistent profit. Maybe you'll make a little bit, but you want to be making, say, a full-time income or something to supplement your job's income. So be as consistent as you possibly can with your product research. Research as much stuff as you can, as often as you can. Make sure you're sending in a shipment a week. If you're using FBA, send in a shipment a week or two if you can. Or whatever it is, just make sure it's periodically shipments being sent in. You could do one every 2 weeks if it's a really big shipment, but it might not be quite as economical. But that's an idea. But whatever it is, guys, you have to be consistent if you want to actually turn this into a business. It's really going to get you any results worth telling your friends about, you know. So what I want to do is invite you to my masterclass tonight. I'm actually in the room right now. Let me just, like, it's pretty cool. Got myself a nice little setup down there. My mic and my laptop, that's where I'm going to be tonight. And I've got, let's walk through here, show you a nice little suite going on. And this is where I'm going to be later whilst I'm delivering the masterclass. So I thought I'd just give you a little look around. And the link to join, guys, put it here on my laptop screen for you, is ecommercefreedom.com/webinar, and we're going to start around about 8 PM and we're going to have a few bits of Q&A before we get going, and also there's going to be a Q&A at the end, so I'll be able to answer any questions that you have. And the whole point of this entire webinar, okay, I flipped it for you. The whole point of this webinar is to teach you exactly how to make £1,000 a month selling on Amazon. How do you get from zero, not knowing anything about it, to having a consistent income? And then how do you take that income and actually create a remote business to keep generating that income, but have the ability just to work with this, just a laptop, from anywhere. So 100% recommend you guys join me tonight. We're starting at 8 PM, ecommercefreedom.com/webinar. And we did one this afternoon, absolutely rocked the house. It was awesome. I had such good feedback from there. I really can't wait to see you guys on there. Sign up. I'm going to give you a couple of reminders via email. You'll receive those. And thank you, Katie. And it's going to be great to see you on there. So I hope these tips have helped you out, guys. Watch the recording again. I recommend you watch it a couple of times. Really remember these tips because they're so key. And I'll see you guys later on tonight. Take care of yourselves.